All right, enough horsing around. Let's get this roll cage finished up. I'm Rob. This is Venturi Fab. We're building a sweet roll cage. If you're into that, subscribe. So today we've got all of our main structure fit. So today we are going to get some triangulation into our A-pillar corners. We're going to add the low bar to tie the main hoop to the A-pillars. Eventually this is going to get cage mounted seats. I'm just going to run the stock seats for right now. I just want to go wheeling in the snow really bad. So we got to get this thing done. So that can get added later. Those are going to be removable with quick disconnects. We're going to get some triangulation up in the back. We're going to throw this back seat in to locate that so that my daughter in the back seat has adequate headroom and it's safe. We'll add another bar in here to get this all good and locked in and safe and supported. And then we're going to add in another removable section that ties the main hoop to the D-pillars down low. So that'll be expandable later because I would like to add better seats in the back later, and then as my setup changes and all that, I can pull that section out, do what I need to do, modify it if I need to modify it, and put it back in. Because once this cage is in, it's done. It ain't ever coming out again. There's no way that I'm going to be able to fish this out without cutting it apart. So this seating section is going to be removable with quick disconnects. Not quick disconnects, with bolt-in disconnects. And the front section, the skeleton's going to get set up today so that when we are ready to make our seat mounts so they can be cage mounted, we can get that all set up, pull it all out as a unit, tie it in together, weld it all together, put it back in. Enough jibber jabbering. Enough jibber jabbering. We got a lot to do. I got to get this done this weekend so that I can blow this thing apart and weld everything out next weekend. So let's get to it. So as I mentioned, we're going to be making the rear subfloor and the front subfloor area removable for future changes and adaptations as this rig evolves. So we're going to be using quick disconnects to, not quick disconnects, we're going to use roll cage disconnects to do that. They're both an interlocking style. That one's apart. They're both interlocking style. I've got the Barnes ones and I've got UTV distribution ones. So I did a whole video a couple days ago about the strengths and weaknesses of each type and why I'm using what, where I'm using it. We might get into that a little bit in this video. Not sure. Otherwise, check that out for an overview of roll cage disconnects. Keep in mind, I'm a giant. We'll leave those there and think on them, and then I'm going to get this bar done. We're going to fit a tube across here along the bottom. Once it's in there, I'm not going to be able to weld this area. So weld order of everything, we got to weld this chunk first on both of these tubes, and then I can place that one. Win, dude. All right, so we're gonna get this bar figured out. It's gonna wrap around the wheel well and then straight back and run right next to this all the way back. Get our length. So that piece plus 44, and then we'll add a little bit extra. All right, so we've got the front fit up to the main hoop. We're gonna add a coupler up there too, and I want this whole rear floor section to be removable as my needs change. So then I can bolt this whole subfloor out, do whatever I need to do, if my loadout changes, whatever, and I can fix all that, weld it all together, and it'll bolt back in. So we're using disconnects at the main hoop and disconnects at this rear bar that we just added in. I want them just about as far back as I can get, and we're going to use these smaller ones because I'm so close to a bend in the main hoop on the front side of this that I can't fit the bigger ones. And like these are interlocking too, as we discussed in my last video on these tube couplers for making parts of your cage bolt apart. And then on the back here, it's going to be against the floor. Obviously, it's not going to be sitting on top of this tube. So with the opposing fasteners on the other one, I won't be able to take it apart. So, I mean, I know I could put it sideways back here, but then it's bigger. This will work good. So that way I can put this down on the floor. It's easy to get to, and we want it to be fairly close to this. I know this is going to get stretched in the future, so I want to be as close to this bar as I can. All right, well, we got this side mocked up. I'm gonna hold it in place, throw some tacky tacks on here, get the front tacked, and then we'll get this other side going. Got like some weather moving in, so it'll be like fine, 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 and then I go to tack and it's like breeze. Freaking killing me. All right, well, here's kind of the point of the whole thing. Well, it looks like the weather's going to roll in a little bit sooner than I was planning, but we got those bottom tubes done, all these bottom ones that frame this back end done. I'm going to throw the shifter in this thing again so that I can pull up under the deck and hopefully keep working even when it's raining. So get the top on this, get the shifter in it. We'll be back. All right, so we're gonna get all these top bars figured out. I had them taped up all day yesterday, either meeting in the middle or having a little bit of straight space in the middle. Both of those should be fairly close safety-wise. But my common angle from my tape here for this, and then also for these two back bars seems to be 35. So I know these are 90. These ones, because we've got the swoop coming into it, these are 82 degrees. So I'm going to set my notcher up for 35 degrees. Cut all my 35s. I'm going to do a 35 for the front too, because it seems to be an angle that just naturally, when I lay tape lines out to, I nail things out to 35. So I guess that's just real visually appealing to me. So I'm going to roll with it. So I'm going to cut one side to 35 on everything, and then I'll roll the tubes, reset the guy, and these ones are going to get cut to 47 because that's an 82 degrees. These are all 90s, so they'll get cut to 55 on the other side. And then the fronts, I still need to measure exactly what my angles are. So what I did on all the, I just cut all the tubes for the roof, and I made a mark at the same spot 2 inches back, and used that little tube tool and scribed it all the way around on every one of these, so that way I can drill all my 35s and then reset my angle and flip them, and I know I'm in exactly the same spot, so my notches are going to line up correctly, in theory. Alright, there's one. And then we'll rotate this in the machine and come back and notch this from the other side, and it should pop right in there. Alright, so we're all cut. I'm going to flip them and cut the other angles on them. So I need, for my roof, I need 4 at 55 degrees on the opposite angle. So let's set this at 55. Bottom one. Alright, so we're going to rotate this 180 degrees. Keep our line lined up. And this should get us pretty close. And that gives us this beautiful piece. So let's go see how that fits. All right, moment of truth. Let's see how this worked. So here's our little double notched. Oh, money. All right, I'm gonna have to bring you in here to see that. So what we'll do, I'm gonna finish notching the rest of these. Then I'll bring you in, we'll check out these joints, and then we just gotta mark these, notch, and we're freaking golden. Oh, that's so sick. So sick. All right. One down, bunch more to go. Great success. Now to bang out the rest. So we got our back brace fixed. We're gonna weld, or we're gonna tack this bar in. The trick is all these joints, every tube intersection needs to be fully welded if at all possible. So what I gotta do, I can't just tack this on top of this and then weld over everything. That's not safe enough. It's not the right way. So we're going to go through, I'm going to weld this top section, I'm going to weld everything that's going to be covered by this tube. That way that's fully welded, and then once everything's all fit, now that I've got these nodes, it's welded underneath that, and then I can go ahead weld on the top of everything, and we're good and we're safe and we're strong. So I'm going to get this cleaned up. We're going to weld this section that's covered. Get this one fit. Oh, it is fit, but we'll get it tacked in, and then we'll get the other side tacked in. Hell yeah. I love it when a plan comes together. Oh man, those multi-joint nodes took a lot more time than I thought they would. But they're turning out great, so I'm stoked about that. We are on the raggedy edge here of being done with this thing. I got figure maybe one more day. I just have a handful of tubes left. I got the last couple cut. We just got our tie-ins here from the A-pillars to our spine. Got one more from there and there. Those are both cut. I just need to fit them to it. And then we've got our A-pillar to main hoop bar. Those are going to be removable. Because eventually when we put the better seats in and cage mount our seats, those will get tied together with a couple bars that the seats will mount to. So these guys down here, those are going to be removable just like these bars are. Because eventually when I do better seats, we'll tie these together and then those seats will mount to that. Because eventually I'd like to get something nice, right? Like some PRPs or something like that. Something a little bit nicer, a little bit more secure. But that's in the future. So we're right on the edge here. We got one more day of caging, and that should be done. Then realistically, a ton of welding. Weld this whole thing out. And then it's just exhaust and my front driveline, and we're wheelable. So my new exhaust, or my new kit for the exhaust, the stainless, showed up last night. So as soon as this is welded out, we're bangarang on the exhaust and should be ready to rock. So I can't wait. This is definitely taking a lot longer than I thought I would, but it's turning out better than I thought it would too. So I'm going to call that a win. You guys have a great week. Remember, if you don't get started, you never get finished. I gotta say, man, the view from this thing's pretty killer. Down through there. Plenty of space to see. Got a little extra support. Got our rear view mirror. Got a loud ass chicken. Got that cage coming together back there. Oh, we're so close. I can't wait.